Alright, so we started off finding out from ChatGPT what type of game it thought that I should make, and it told us to do an endless runner. Great. Then we had it make us our first script, the player controller, which it did, and with a little back and forth asking it to refine the script for us, our player could move and jump. Not too hard stuff. Then we had it spawn in obstacles for us, again refining things, without having to write any code ourselves. So far the AI has been able to match anything we ask of it, just copy and paste it into Unity and it works. And for this episode, I wanted to get into some more complicated stuff. So I was a bit worried that maybe this is where it might all fall apart. So I started off by finding out from our coding wizard what the best way would be to spawn obstacles ahead of the player. Now this is where things got really interesting, because not only did it give us the script to do that, but it also recommended way more complex things such as object pooling. It already thought ahead of our needs because it knew the most efficient way to approach it. It wasn't just spitting out code to do the task that we wanted, but it knew how to create an endless runner and the methods that you would use to achieve that. It wasn't until I was editing this video that it really sunk in just how well the AI was able to give us what we needed. Granted, a lot of the code that it spit out wasn't as production ready as I would like, but for a prototype, I did however try out a few more things. First, I wanted to see if I could get the AI to get us from the start to where we ended off with a single prompt for rapid prototyping. I tried to be more broad with the question as if I didn't know how to code at all, but it was giving out more of like a how-to than just the code itself. And in another instance, just gave the code templates for all the necessary elements you would need, but with no code inside. I tried to get more specific having it code everything for us, but it would just provide the basics saying it would be too much for it to do from a single prompt. This seemed more like an artificial limitation in processing power than a limitation of the AI itself. With that, I also wanted to see if instead you could use the AI to learn how to code by asking what certain code that it spits out meant. I was pleasantly surprised to see how it broke down and detailed all the elements of it with a fairly good understanding of what it actually did and what you would use it for. Just to be sure, I also asked it in a separate instance and it was still able to figure out the context just fine. But what if I had an error in my code? Could it figure it out? I started off with a simple syntax error which it was able to pick up and correct. But when I fed it with logic issue, while it did figure out what the issue was, it gave the opposite solution than what the method was intended for. I was able to correct this, however, by telling it the correct behavior that I was looking for. Now, a lot of what I was testing was fairly simple stuff. Maybe the AI falls flat with more complicated things like inventory management or networking or something like that. My feeling so far is a bit mixed. I'm kind of amazed on how well it was able to give me very workable code while guiding me through all the features I would need to design that specific type of game. But at the same time, I also felt kind of unconnected with the code, just copying and pasting without really knowing what was going on. While it did seem far more effective with having some coding knowledge and being able to refine the code it gives you, for someone who's learning how to code or wanting to quickly prototype an idea, it actually handled it surprisingly well. So, from what you have seen, do you think you would try to use AI to help code your game? And just how much control would you give it? Thank you for watching and hope you stick around for more.